Hello. Welcome to Sovereign Kava and Poetry Open Mic, Asheville. And we do welcome all forms of artistic expression. Glad to be the hosts of the Fringe opening there. That was really cool. But yeah, so tonight we've got a special guest, poet and host, Mr. Justin Evans, my cousin. Yeah, he's up here from Charlotte. He's does some professing down there. He's a brilliant mind in general, and so you'll get to hear him here shortly. I'll read a few poems. I'm Kevin Evans. Yeah, cheers. I've been hosting it in recent times. Caleb Beissert, who's over there, has done this for 15 years, all the way till last autumn, and it's an honor to be in such a space. This first piece is called Chopped Praying Cypress Knees on the Missing Piano. On the edge of the Brown Ridge, our lifeline was split. Just beneath the breezy timbers, the cypress hidden in its dying waters. The knees praying for natural baptism in the drowning. Not everyone, everything was made to float, made for swimming. And many elders always professed that if God had intentions of us flying, we would have been manufactured in the clouds with wings. I still wonder if most of our wings are there, just invisible. A mystery and a secret it takes a whole lifetime to know, until we crack the code, bust the message in the bottle that falls out of thin air to bust our head wide open. Well, I can't perceive my wings, nor have I been baptized officially. If you are the praying kind, and you think any of this matters, pray for me. And then save and send a prayer for everybody. On the Brown Ridge, do you know that I still pray for the whole world? Even if it don't hear me. Even if I myself am beyond saving. Cheers. All right. This one's called Chrysalis Conundrum, and I wrote it February 3rd and 4th of this year. It's naturally such a beautiful world. So many beautiful souls, specifically when unadulterated, underrated, understated. But damn, so many wrenches in the wind and falling from the sky in any season. Sometimes there are frozen nails and hammers clamoring to serve even without knowing the exact purpose or worth. Dirt begs it to open up new abode when too cold and stark, where your heart knocks upon buried cave walls. Can't believe the celestials' invisible strings keep fishing all of these angels. Rambling for rainbows and gold we rarely can collect in this old earth's rain barrel. It's still naturally such a beautiful world, untampered, unadulterated, not molested, drained, hated and threatened for having less coins in the greedy satchel or less miles upon the custom-crafted saddle. Hated for meaning your smile as opposed to leaking it upon the tile or painting it upon pandering predator, claiming to hold every cure. Still, we stand with humanity as the thief is brandishing peace as a threat, not a bouquet. And they lie and lie and lie. Meanwhile, some of the brightest lights become early butterflies. All right. So now it's time for the Evans takeover. Justin Evans over there, he's originally from Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, he went to Warren Wilson College and some other shit too. He can tell you more about it if he feels like it. But he's a brilliant writer and performer, and he's part of Fringe. He's going to tell you about that as well, but he's going to come up here, and he's going to take the wheels and host the rest of this night. Y'all give it up for Justin William Evans.
Hey, y'all. Y'all are lucky as hell to have Kevin Evans as a host. Y'all might not know this, but he holds within himself a secret, ecstatic blues musician persona called Kevin Swamps, which he revealed to us in the mountains of Virginia. Swamps. It's an absolute honor being here. I love this open mic so much. I miss Asheville. I love the Piedmont, but the mountains are distinct and amazing, and y'all are lucky as hell to have this open mic. The longest running, I miss y'all a lot. So thinking of that and wanting to build some energy in myself and build some energy for tonight, I wanted to read a very old poem that I've been reading with these weirdos for a very long time. It's a poem that I wrote about a sandwich. This pot roast sandwich, this is the thing. I could eat this every goddamn day. This pot roast thing. I'd like to consume it like a fungus, a walking, armed-legged fungus. I'd like to spread it out, peel back its layers and spread it out and lay on top of it, dissolving it with my sweat and absorbing it through roots that extend through my skin. I feel small most of the time, but this pot roast makes me feel big, makes me feel right and big. Big as a mountain, fat as a river, fat as some fancy-ass moon reflected in a fucking river. Strong as the ocean, acting all salty like it's full of whales. The ocean rolling around on the sand, making slow noise and climbing up all over itself. Trees don't grow out of the ocean. Unless it's like them trees with the balloons on it or grows on the back of some dirty fish. Only thing grows out of the ocean natural is dirt from the center of the earth. Nothing grows out of me but mountains. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how this goddamn sandwich makes me feel. Like nothing grows out of me but mountains. Like beneath my surface, the dead become molten and churning, pulling and rising to my textured surface in an ancient process so slow as to be unnoticed, but integral to the entire mechanism of existence and growth. Ain't that something special and real? I'm the kind of man who believes in fate. The kind of man likes to know where his eating comes from. This pot roast chewed grass out the dirt for me till it got ripe. Ready to fuel a more important machine. One day I'll get ate by something bigger, something pure and gigantic. But I ain't ripe yet. But that's why I eat these sandwiches with this bread and this roast. Why I trade my hard-earned bills for something worth money. I don't eat bark because I want my bones white when they string up what's left of me. What fell on the ground was bled out and pull me up past the blue sky and serve me to the Godhead, delicious, fat, and ripe. God damn it, this pot roast is the real thing. Come out the sun and the earth it did. A real thing. And good. Oh, man. It feels really good to read that poem in this place to y'all. So I'm here to be in Asheville, also to be at the Asheville Fringe Festival, which is happening from now until Saturday. There might also be some free Fringe events on Sunday as well. I am doing a performance called Invocation of Lightness Overhanging, which is a recreation of a performance that the late poet Martha Wythblaith did way back in 1994. We have collected some of her notes and some of the recollection of people who were there. A lot of that recollection is contradictory. So we put together the performance as best as we possibly could in honor of Martha Wythblaith. Martha Wythblaith drowned in the French Broad River in November of 2022. I just wanted to read a couple of her poems to start off here today. This is from her unfinished and incredibly expansive work called Instructions for Drowning. This is Instructions for Drowning, number 57. All the water come from the moon's green branches, from the apple's wet heart like a cat's skin, from Jesus like a dog climbed down from the window to my ugly lap. All this water I can't hold in my hands, who's got no handles, hell, shit, God, looking at me through the windshields, weeping, bright mops of burning light sweeping. I feel like all those heavenly angels keep calling me from heaven on their blueberries, but I keep dropping my slippery phone down the goddamn storm drain, the sky bleeding down with rain. All the water comes, shit, hell, want to sleep. Me weeping and dry, shit, loving you branchy, flood as gorgeous as the Lord breath, and weeping, birds cold breath, the water cold, and hold me, lovey breath, and sleep green branches of my veins, drop my silvery phones down the whispering storm drain, from my branches of my veins, God, open mouth Jerusalem, all the water shit come hell while we sleep, dry brandy of morning light, and the bird's kisses I'm swallowing and swallowing, so cold I'm a river's vein, branches of my veins, in light, 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 burning mops of hen's head and minarette, light, drowning clouds of river on my veins, light, light with no hands, cold, weepy, love you, one of my sleep green water with no hands. I'd have laid here for days, not breathing, gathering college with my weak no hands. This next one is Instructions for Drowning, number 243. Sheets of cold apple, interior rummy glass, mineral taffy sunlight, cold as those bottom orange leaves I see you've gathered to dry at my rotten porch light. Clearly that's what was ruffling in the orange dark, you in whose cagey sweats I would nest like a leech against your clammy stomach, murmuring recipes and dull stones. Clench at your cat-saggy skin and tilt lilted like the moon prince disguised. Hell, I tell you that Horus, dolphin of horse for Gorus, whose birth sign in Aura was in Taurus, joined the moon church's horse's chorus and bored us with infinite verses of Morris Adoris. Also, my shoulders might wiggle in your warm sea, and my throat might purr like a mug of tea in your hands. Hell, I reign here in this morning of instant hardwood coffee without you, claiming every breath as quarter-hearted as a half-mast at the McDonald's, the freezer broken and pouring out. Eating from hands we've gathered here to dry in some effort, rummy as those horse chest eurythmics. So my shoulders are others' little sunken rope bridges, like you don't want to silence a wound with a bandage. Hell, you think you could teach it to sing. I reign here every morning with new Theseus, with telephone eyes. Every day wakes up and says hello and makes me, and I make breakfast. And I shrink into your warm sea, the ancient oceanic organs singing their long songs through the dark blood. I long to love, to love. If I breathe your rivers into me, am I again your rivers? And are you with me? Oh, man. Y'all are sweeties. I like y'all. I wanted to read one more longer poem, but I might not put it in my pocket. I did. Was that the one? I'm going to read this one instead. This is a poem about the dead. Do you know what they do with the dead? The dead. They put them in the ground. That's how come the earth keeps changing. Why it's full of holes. Why the mountains get as high as a bank. It's full of the dead. The dead. And the dead keep dying. Hell, I just met a man whose wife was dead. I bought some fencing off of him for a friend and stood on the gravel with him, and he asked me about my job. And the gravel didn't swallow us up. And his eyes were green. And do you see them when you look around for the dead? The dead. In the empty yellow houses at night? Is that the dead knocking on my front door while I'm sleeping, bringing me to their apartments where they lie on the floors of my kitchens? You can call someone on the phone. They'll tell you how to breathe for the dead. The dead, how to hold your hands over their heart and move their blood up and down their body. But you never really see the dead. The dead get put in cemeteries and little stone buildings and pots and pyramids, and some get put in grocery stores, and some get left in the empty fields of novels, mouths open to the sky for the carrion birds and the stinking pliers of dentists, and some just disappear on their own. The dead follow us around beneath the surface of the earth and watch us doing our chores upside down. You see, this is why I fucking hate poetry. The dead. The dead. There are no words anymore. I look out the window of the coffee shop while the wind is blowing, and in the beautiful parking lot, a single cloud drifts the afternoon light around a dying Chinese maple. Its last little red leaves look like a parasite, a wound, the dead, downhill moon, slim, delicious caricatures, sexy carpenters in their cemetery blue jeans, the dim careers of cucumbers, landscape cinema on your sunglasses while you make the conversation so boring. The highway tying itself into flames, and little go-go Moses striking light from a stone. The dead, they soften, they blow away, they gossip for centuries, they mold over our stories, the dead. They unionize their death squads and dig out sinkholes like tiger ants and pretend they've invented some new model of Jerusalem. Hell, the dead. To the dead, everything's as obvious as it is untrue. They've got long, long sleeves. They get hot for the good, warm, war-crying melodies. The dead, they all look beautiful and serene. Every corpse is a sunless setting sun, a table setting, a setup for some underground party punchline. The dead, they're all ventriloquists and dancers and birthday boys and cheering crowds. The dead, they stare from the other side of the television at you eating your breakfast. Just that apple with your coffee in the morning light. That sweet, cold water. Some tree gathered handless from the dirt. Eternity, breath, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all, it's nice to be here. I'm going to keep saying that. I don't need to keep saying that. I just keep feeling it. Yeah. So, I guess we're going to get started here tonight. We've got a few spots still open. If anybody feels like signing up, please come find me. I'll be carrying the list around. We're going to start with our 5-minute sets. There will be a timer right here. If it looks like you're going over time, I might wave to you a little bit, et cetera, so look out for me. And first up, we've got Ben. Can y'all get it up for Ben? Woo-hoo!
Cool, thank you. This poem's called Big Twuck. Big Twuck, you flash your lights. Your Morse code for I love you. Your one finger gesture with that little come here curl. I'm flattered. You ride my bumper so close, you're about to mount me like a dog. Wreck my rear end and cause a pileup. You play master, so I'll submit to the road. Chew your wrinkled tire to shreds. Just remember, some people aren't afraid to die. This one's called My Biggest Fear. My biggest fear is I'll be peeing somewhere and a bear or burglar. Is it burglary if I'm the house? Will come out of the night with the stars as my only witness and attack me like a New York rat, savagely destroying the few scraps left of me. I'd be running, genitals out, pee-soaked pants for the world to judge the inadequacies I was born with, maybe even peeing on my face if I'm fast enough. Death scoffs at clean underwear. Isn't it funny how we trust the most unbelievable thoughts and try to acknowledge them as burnout, stained glass beliefs? Too bad they always come back like piss in the wind. I'm the listener, not the one looking for bears. I probably should stop peeing outside, and that thought wouldn't leak into my head. This one's called Are You Asking Me? Are you asking me if your poetry's good? How would I know? I can't even name what mine is. All I know is you have to let it run through you like an electric eel in your ass. Go sit in Carl Sandburg's chair and scare his goats. Break into Hemingway's house, touch his typewriter like a Buddhist relic. Pet the cats. Pretend to be Kerouac, just don't drink the chance away. Don't be Cassidy, rotting somewhere on the tracks. Ride long like Ginsberg. Instead of motorcyclists, let life fuck you in the ass. Read Silverstein, think of naked women. Listen to a boy named Sue. Bet on everything like Bukowski. Bet until the horses and the greyhounds run straight to hell. Like Sylvia and Anne, follow through. If it kills you, at least it was honest. Learn from Williams, be surgical, precise, cut deep, only where it matters. Don't be like this guy R.M. Drake, bleeding diaries, entries for art. Make your words something to chew on, make your thoughts thick like gravy. Right, right, right. You can do it all if you don't do it for you. Stop the cheesy rhyme, it's trite. Stop playing Jesus to cracked out apostles. Are you actually holy or are you just constipated and dramatic? Do you cry over paper cuts, spend your last $16 on poetry books? Do you just quit and buy dinner? Nothing is easy except language. Rearranging it right, that's the fight. Don't just quit, right. Can I read one more? Okay. This one's called Wait. Hey you, come back and haunt me right now. I wish I never let me. If you let me show you, I can rip the world apart. It won't make sense until I go. You can see the holes I make in me from miles away. I woke up, America was dead. I saw the future, it was a ghost. These mountains stunk before we found them. Sometimes that sky is the pretty Mount Laurel blue. I'm the same, just not pretty. The leaves are bleeding, temperature rising. The water tasted something like blood. I slowly squished my soft heart. I took it for granted. Kept my mind in check, let my heart run wild. The shine of the dark will hate you, no matter what, for making it hide. I ask my heart for clemency while I'm waiting. It can't be much longer. I turn around and face me. Maybe this time I don't lose. If I don't make it, it isn't because I didn't try. I swear over my dead body. Thank you.
This is so high up. Can we do one more for Ben? Woo! You are the fucking greatest. Now keep that up for Jenna.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. This is part of a larger piece that I'm working on. It is a multimedia work about Kate Bush's early career. And so this is actually the first song on her first album the first album's called The Kick Inside, 1978. And this is the first track off of that album called Moving. I'm just getting the lyrics up, even though I probably don't need them. Moving stranger, does it really matter? As long as you're not afraid to feel. Touch me, hold me, how my open arms ache. Try to fall for me. How I move, how you move me with your beauty's potency. You give me life, please don't let me go. You crush the lily in my soul. Moving liquid, flow out just as water. Go around all that comes in your way. Don't think it over, it always takes you over. Send your spirit dancing. How I move, how you move me with your beauty's potency. You give me life, please don't let me go. Oh, you're giving me life, please don't let me go. You crush the lily in my soul. Thank you. For this Kate Bush experience that I'm going to be putting on, hopefully at the Art Garden later on in the year, I will be playing piano and singing and also dancing and telling stories about Kate Bush's early life and her early career. And I'm hopefully going to have some visuals in the back on film as well. Thank you so much. I'm Jenna Jaffe. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep doing this, y'all. Can we give it up one more time for Jenna Jaffe? Yeah. Beautiful. Some of y'all I don't know, I might struggle with some names here and there. Next up we've got Journey. Journey? A little more, please.
Hi guys, how's it going? Okay, yeah. So my name is Journey, but my Instagram name is Flinch, PHLNCH. If you must know. But okay, so I wrote a poem just now, actually. Thank you. I wrote it about 9 minutes ago. Okay. Okay. It's actually called Strange Fruit. This is my version of Strange Fruit. Okay, here we go. To be nigger, to be rose, caught in the naps Caught in my naps be the lust of a man who despises me. Cased in the skin of my greatest grandfather, wilted by the Southern American S-O-N. To be nigger, to be rose up, kissing the branch of the magnolia, kicking my feet to the beat of my brother's leathered backs. To be nigger, to be cursed, to be ghastly, to be mercy, to be anger, to be angered, to be dirty, to be dirty, to be heavy, to be running still, to be ugly. Lip hanging past my chin, sullied skin, I am disgusting, still rotting beneath the star-spangled light. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Cool. I wrote another one. This one is a bit lighter. Sorry about that. Okay, I actually wrote this an hour ago. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that, for real. It's called Spring. I couldn't think of a better title. All right. Lilies grow upon my ceiling, an ode to the prayers that could only read the room. And I had hung each letter upside down lest I drown beneath relinquished petals undressed, coughing up repentance, holding 5 stems between my breasts, staring at the moss-grown and stony heart I once possessed. Curtain resonance, it once held my beauty by her ear, and it whispered to her serenades that stripped her of her cheer. Rotting roots, I chipped my tooth on fleeting smiles I tried to smear, and I caught that rigid seed before more growth be made to appear. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. And then I have one more. Sorry. Can I read 2 more? Like, one is short. I don't know who's gonna answer that. Okay. Thanks. All right, this one is one I read maybe 3 weeks ago. The title of it is actually a hex code of a color, which is CCE7C9. It's like a really pastel green. Okay, here we go. Submerged beneath the color green, I close my eyes, undermining the forthcoming spring. A disgrace toward the blooms of April, reversing earth with my stance. The trees will lean, and my ocean spills. My tear ducts swell, and the birds stop singing. I reach for my breath in the depths of yesterday, algae caught beneath my fingernail. Thank you. Okay, and this is the last one. I wrote it on February the 23rd at 8:16 p.m. Okay, it's untitled. This is about betrayal, but I never say the word betrayal. Okay, and here we go. And the hardwood remains cool beneath the dreaming, nailing our photos to the walls, standing on my biggest toes, reaching. Driving those nails into my ankles, I collect the dust from the sheetrock, my flattened smile with your arm around my waist, piercing both wrists against the memories, leaking. Pulled around my biggest toes, crucified by all I know, without much holler and letting go. The hardwood drinks, the blood grows cold. Thank you.
One more time for Journey. Find them on social media under Flinch, PHLNCH. Next up, we've got Dion Mounts. Dion, you around? Beautiful. Make them love the mic. Make them crave the mic.
Hey, y'all. I'm Dion, and I actually have a question. I am, or used to be, a freestyle artist, and that used to be my main form of expression. In the past few years, though, I've definitely gone more towards the written end, and I'm a little out of practice with the freestyling. So my question to you is, would you prefer the more practiced writtens that I have or an unpracticed freestyle? Both? How to do both? Does anybody know the story of Quoth? No, nobody told you? Well, it's a beautiful story, but I'm not going down that path of allegory. No, I'll be choosing something different if you choose to listen. It's a game of fusion and of fission, the game of multiplication and division, the part of me that died and then was re-risen, to be living in this moment, this second, without double checking or wrecking, just stacking and decking in my favor to savor this current second, this moment alone with this process of atonement, going in and out with the in and the out breath, coming back once again just to play this pretend on this balanced beam of zen, letting it go, letting it lend, to try not to offend, moving around, let it mend, going back and again. And that's all I'm gonna do, because I don't feel it moving through. No, not quite yet, but I'm not in game of regret. So I'm gonna open it up to a new construct over I can hopefully still be able to conduct something. I used to be a lot better, for real. I'm gonna keep on practicing and come back with it. So I have a lot of societal angst. I don't know if anybody else shares that, but sometimes I write about it. This is called Symptoms of a System. We are not sick. We are responding. The resounding of toxicity sold as taste echoes to a silence sold as sanity, to loneliness wrapped in glowing screens and sold back to us with monthly billing options. They've mistaken adaptation for illness. We are supposed to grieve when the world forgets how to feel. We are supposed to rage when our bodies become battlegrounds for someone else's quarterly report. They bottle the blues, they patent our panic, market serotonin like it's a salvation, while the real medicine sits illegal in the forest, in a mushroom, in the eyes of a stranger who actually listens. Emotions, a scheduling conflict. You're too sad? Medicate. Too happy? Medicate. Too awake? Medicate. Too different? Too alive? Watch yourself. What is sanity in a world that shames you for wanting to dance barefoot or cry without a diagnosis? This is pharmaceutical racketeering, a hostage situation with side effects. And yet we rise. We rise through all of it. We rise and we learn to name our pain without barcodes. We gather in sacred circles without credentials. We remember our heartbeat and how to breathe. We remember the rituals our ancestors were burned for. All right, this is a short one to fit in the time. All right, this is called Too Smart to Chill, Too Dumb to Do. So what do we do with the one caught between, too sharp to relax, too dull to convene? A blade with no handle, a map with no land, a mind full of answers for questions unplanned. He watches the world like a game from a booth, mocks every illusion but flees from the truth. Dreams in equations, breathes in a loop, a prophet of chaos alone on the stoop, wants to build heaven but can't sweep his floor, invents sacred systems then sleeps through the door, So what do we do with the flicker, the fuse, the half-baked magician, too clever to lose, too lazy to win, a paradox stew, the fool on the mountain who almost knew. Thank you.
Y'all, can we give it up a little bit more for Dion? Next up, y'all, we've got an absolute treat. Y'all should be honored to witness. Y'all should, this is a absolute delight to be here. Next up, we have a very special guest to the mic, George Trouble. Are you ready, George? Can we give it up a little bit more than that? Thank you. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are sweeties. Fringe Festival is going on this week all the way to Sunday. We've also got some Fringe performers here in the house tonight. I'll be introducing them just in a little bit. It's been a long time since I've done this open mic. The last time that I did this was when the Kava bar was over on Eagle Street. I don't really remember how to vamp at all. I feel like this is kind of what I should be doing, but I don't really remember how to do it. I'm just, just a little bit of positivity and then just keep on talking, right? I hear some strings going behind me. I feel like it's about time for me to stop doing this, but I'm going to keep talking just a little bit more because it sounds like there's a little bit of tuning going on. I'm really enjoying this rhythm right now, and I'm just standing up here. And I have no idea how to freestyle, but I feel like I know how to continue observing random things around me. It's really nice to be up here in mountain air. I've been down in the Piedmont. Sometimes I consider it to be the cesspool of absolutely nothing, a world full of parking lots, a little bit up 85, a place where cookout is king, and the night lasts forever, and the dead will never rise from their graves. Ladies and gentlemen, George Trouble.
Good to see you again, Justin. Thanks for coming up the mountain. I did a lot of coming up the mountain over the years, and I got to go down the mountain this week. Thank you. Hey, let's hear it for the Beissert brothers for running this damn thing, huh? It's not a damn thing. It's a blessed thing. You know how when you go to Ingles or someplace, Harry Titty, and you get your food, and somebody goes, "Have a blessed day." That doesn't piss me off. I think that's pretty cool. I want to be blessed. Great to be back here at the Kava bar. I just don't have enough time to hang out enough. There's a song that I wrote right after the first Gulf War. I assumed I'd have another chance to play it. It's all about geography and the old men call at school last fall to all us might have beens. Escape the miles and prison walls, for this tradition wins. With promises of wealth and riches, I ain't washing no more dishes. Someday there'll be cheerleaders coming for me in feast or famine. Never grieved us, winter's terror through burning flesh and fuel. Our tomahawks make no grievous error, the course stayed straight and true. Our turkey shaped to purge the past, but spring break came and went so fast. Back home we'll have a life supply of food and gas, and feast or tell your story. We need stories. Such noble deeds give strength to the weak. Who knows where they belong? To follow the true road to heaven that runs through Babylon. While refugees get Santa Clauses, count the wins and cut the losses. Wonder what's been growing in my own backyard. The feast of famine. Within the empire somewhere lies an individual urn, a mash and bone where spirit lies, the heart could not be burned. The service industry's best bet to catch what falls through safety nets. So hungry for the new world pecking order, feast of famine. So hungry for the new world pecking order, feast of famine. So hungry for the new world pecking order, feast of famine.
Hey. Can we give George a little more? It's good as hell to see you, man. Absolutely. So y'all, this is on, yeah. I feel like it's been longer than my life has been that I've been touring with like these weirdos off and on, even as I've slid down to Piedmont away from this beautiful place. And like one person that I'm really, really grateful for all this time, like person that I consider to like have built and put a huge amount of work into building a poetry community in Asheville, and the person who's behind like foundation of this open mic. Like, I just, I think, I don't know if I would not want to it's hard as fuck to like build communities like this and get people consistently to be around poetry and to put the amount of work that people put into open mics like this. And I'm saying all of this because I want y'all to give a really, really big, rousing, like, eat this person alive round of applause for Caleb Beissert.
Thanks, Justin. Oh, yeah, let's do this fucking thing. Hey, this poem's called Walk. Walking around the lake, I see fallen trees reaching from the water with green leaves. My mind takes a walk. I see days with their brightness gone over the hillside, the dam holding back the lake, the trees crocheting the sun on the lake, my mind hiking mountainsides and jumping into sky. The rain in the other valley, I hear its thunder. The weight of late July sky pulls the trees. The wind pushes clouds across my mind. Above the trees I walk. In silence the leaves talk. The lake whispers all through the night of day. The rain arrives late in morning. The rain speaks of leaves, my mind departs. And I am the stillness of the trees after the rain leaves. I too am on my way. I never left the lake. I never left.
Thanks a lot, y'all. And I'd like to bring our good friend Aaron Price up to the stage right now.
This is for not hoping. Oh.
We getting the keyboard? Cool.
Another icy night. Far away the cries grow louder and more shrill. The numbers keep adding. The red-tailed hawk waits above my doorstep. There are eyes on everything. The supermarket weeps at night. Rats cartwheel in the parking lots. The traffic lights all blink. The dust that never settles. And the stars in our eyes explode. I am the music from the radio of a passing car with the taillight out. I am the lonely interstate songs in our dreams we cry together. On good days we argue. The rain turns to ice and back to rain. The sky's fogged with ice clouds. Ice is tearing down the neighborhoods. The dream of the dream. The thoughts of returning sunshine. The last time the door slammed. I wake up in a cold house. The fire had gone out hours ago.
Thank you. That was Aaron Price on the piano. Speaking of piano, this next poem is a true story. They're all true, right? All right. This poem is called Sign. The pacing addict, 10 days clean, keeps asking to play the piano, unfazed that the answer is always no. He's just asking if he can play the piano. It had a sign on it that said to ask the bartender before playing it. He just wants to play it for a few minutes. Is it cool if he just plays it for a few minutes? He's just asking. We're really just trying to close up, bud. But he just wants to play it for a few minutes. So is it cool if he just plays it for a few minutes? He's just asking, though he knows how to play. He'll play it really good just for a few minutes. He's just asking. He's just asking
if he can play the piano just a few minutes. Piano, is it cool? Piano, a few minutes, he's asking. Piano, minutes, piano, piano, he's just asking. A few minutes, piano, 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 he's just asking if he can play the piano. Can he play the piano? Can he play the piano right now? Play that fucking piano. Come on, hey, Pete. Piano. Piano, 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 minutes, piano, he's just asking, piano, minutes, he's just asking how to sign on it. Piano, piano, he's just asking, piano, minutes, piano, piano, a sign on it. Piano, minutes, minutes, piano, 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 minutes, piano, piano, he's just asking if he can just play the piano for a few minutes. He really needs to get something out. All right, thank you very much. Hey, I got one more for you. Hey! Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back here on this stage tonight. Thanks so much to Kevin Evans for holding it down and Justin Evans, the guest host. And tonight, definitely go see that Martha White Place show. That's going to be awesome. Tribute to an incredible poet we all we love and miss dearly. So thank you for putting that together, Justin. So this next poem is called At Work, because I wrote it at work. And I can use some help with this. It's really simple. If you'll help me out. When I say rent, y'all just scream rent. Let's try this out right now. Rent. Oh, very good. Y'all are fucking awesome. Right on it. All right. All right. We got this. At work. The clock, a history of circuitry and dust. Hands, a drill sergeant inspecting his ranks, attentive only to the air inside the glass. Under the clock, the aroma of wet leather on the first Sunday in April. Laboratory inscription bears the letters quartz, but it holds no gold. Only an idea of what time should look like and how it should sound. Rent, 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 rent. Striking a match too quickly, losing the flame. Whose idea is it anyway? Why should we rent away our lives only to start over at midnight? On its rough face, the numbers shine like hair, each waiting for its part of the minute. Rent, 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 rent. Okay, I got some watches for sale here. Got your big deal right here, right here. Watches, you need a watch. Rent, 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 rent. Would y'all like to buy a watch? I got discount watches right here. They're real fake Rolexes. Rent, 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 rent. Striking a match too quickly. Keep it going. Rent, rent, rent. Whose idea is it anyway? Whose idea is it anyway? Rent. Super deals right here. Come and get them. We're dealing. We're dealing. We're dealing. We're dealing. Rent, 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 rent. Rent. Striking a match too quickly. Whose idea is it? Rent, rent, rent. Why should we rent, rent, rent? Why should we rent, rent? Well, it's rough face. Rent, rent. Circuitry and dust. Rent, rent. Whose idea is it? Rent, 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 rent. Rent, 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 this idea is it, rent, holds no gold. Thanks a lot, y'all. Aaron Price on the piano. I'm Caleb Beissert. Keep it going for your host tonight, Justin Evans.
I feel upstaged, and I really like it. Feeling a little bit like a performance sub right now. So we've got some weirdos from the Asheville Fringe here tonight. This next performer mentioned where they're from at the preview party a little bit earlier, and I don't remember. And like, I saw their show last year, Anatomica, and like in my mind, they were birthed from the moon. Like they're the kind of person that you kind of imagine crawling out of the forest. An incredible performer. Amika, are you here? Fantastic. Please come up. Give it up for Amika Hunter.
This is intriguing, but I probably don't need to mess with that. Wow, that was, first of all, I just fucking love this town. It's only my second time here, but every time I come here, I'm just like, this is my kind of weirdos doing amazing, freaky, great art. So congrats on living here and making it awesome. I'm here from Washington, the state. Someone screams back there. Are you the screamer from there? Just supportive. Okay. I flew here. I'm actually kind of realizing that I flew here, but I didn't sleep because they did that thing where they delay it several hours at a time until it's 6 a.m. Instead of 10 p.m. That's not what I wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to give you an option of stories I could tell you. They're not from my show, although if you want to come to my shows, that would be so cool because I'm broke. But I was wondering if you freaks would be more interested in hearing about like dating or cannibalism or gynecology. Cannibalism. Okay, content warning, cannibalism. So like if you don't like that sort of thing, get out of here. I recently became a cannibal. Thank you. Where's all the woos I got for being from Washington, which is boring. I recently became a cannibal. Okay. And I'll tell you about it because I can see like you're holding back because you're a little concerned, which is valid. That's fair, you know. I guess I kind of did it like because I didn't want to be a hypocrite. I've been okay for a long time. I've been hypothetically talking about cannibalism as a what if, you know. And I've very confidently bragged that if I were given the opportunity, ethically, you know, to consume human flesh, I would have to try, right? Because it's like a bucket list sort of thing. You know, it's like, and let me be clear, I don't want to, really. I'm not, you know, it doesn't sound appealing to me, but I, you know, I'm interested in investigating that taboo because it's one of those, you know, the weirder I get, the less like weird stuff kind of like does it for me, you know what I mean? And you gotta kind of push it to the extreme. And so I think cannibalism is one of those taboos that still makes me go like, ooh, and like, no way, you know, which is fun and nice. So, you know, and so I think it all came about when I read this article about a man who was in an accident and he had to have his leg amputated, and somehow he managed to get the leg, his lower leg, back unpolluted by chemicals. And he hosted a dinner party and offered, consensually to his friends to eat his leg meat in the form of like a fajita. He hired like a chef, and did this and like had somebody come up with the recipe, and he and his friends ate his leg. And I read about this, and so this is kind of like a topic of conversation that I would pose to people, like I'm not so great at regular conversations, but it's like a little party sort of icebreaker. Like, would you eat the leg, basically, right? And so I would answer my own question, yeah, I'd have to eat the leg. However, I'm kind of picky, I'm a constantly nauseous, like, little sickling, and so I might feel like I might throw up. But I would eat it, because, like, what are you gonna not eat your friend's leg? Be like, yeah, I had a chance to eat my friend's leg as a fajita, and I just didn't even try it? That's, to me, unconscionable. Unconscionable. So recently, I heard about boob soup. Okay, I'm friends with these metal kids, and they have their little den of metal out in the woods. It's beautiful. There's like, they've dug up all these roots and these animal skulls, and it's only red light. The aesthetics are pristine. I'm not close friends with any of them, but it's this amazing metal sanctuary in the woods. And I heard that one night, everybody was offered some boob soup, some French onion soup made out of the rendered fat of somebody who had had top surgery, gender-affirming top surgery, got their titties back, chopped up, rendered the fat into a tallow or a lard of sorts, and then made a delicious French onion soup out of it and fed it to the metal kids. And I was so jealous, and I was like, damn, you guys ate boob soup? That's so fucking cool. Like, I wish I had been there. That's wild, but again, confidently thinking this was an event that had passed, so I could easily say, like, I wish I had had the boob soup, because it's gone, right? No, I found out, actually. There's plenty more. And this time it's not just the soup, right? There's plenty more of the tit back, right? So everyone was like, yeah, and if you, next time you see Hog, this person goes by Hog, of course, who I hadn't met, they were like, yeah, you should ask, because they have a lot of fat left over. And then one day, I was hosting an event, and we were going around saying our names so nicely, and one of the people there was Hog. And I was like, oh my God, you're the boob soup person. That's so fucking cool. I heard about that. I love that you fed your tit to everybody. I just think that's so neat, And they were like, you want to try it? I have some right now. In the fridge, I have a mason jar of my rendered fat of tit. And I was like, oh boy, this is it. I gotta do it, right? But I was like a little worried about if I could handle it, because it just feels rude to be looking someone in the eyes, and being like, But yeah, so they came back down, and they had also made some focaccia bread, handmade, like homemade. So I had a little snack, which was focaccia. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. Yeah. Some focaccia bread, and so they got a butter knife and just like fat, thick, on top of the bread, and I was like, oh boy, here we go, And the first bite that I had was fine, because there happened to be a piece of lemon on that half of the bread, baked onto the bread, and I was like, oh, no big deal, But I'm kind of trying to stay ahead of my mind. Because it doesn't actually taste like much, but it's the mind that tastes like too much, right? And then the second bite I had, there was no piece of lemon on that half of the bread, and so all I could taste really was like bread and lard of human tit, And I will admit, like, I did kind of, a bunch of times. And I was saying, to Hog, who I had just met, by the way, like, hey, it's not personal, just so you know, like, I don't feel about you. I'm just struggling, a little with the concept with the concept, you know. And they were trying to comfort me, you know, and they were saying like, hey, it's okay. Look, I'm fine. I'm alive and I'm fine. And I was like, I love that for you, like respectfully, that's so awesome, but that's not like the problem, you know? And it's, I guess since then, of course, number one, I'm very proud of myself. I kept it down. I didn't barf up the boob. Thank you. I kept it down, and I was thinking like, what would the circumstances be that would make it like less gaggy for me, you know? Because I was like a little bit shamed that other people also ate the tit in front of me, the lard, and they didn't react. They were just like, you know, and I was like, wow, you freaks, you've out-freaked me like to the max. These fucking hippies are just like, no problem with it, right? And so I was like, is it that I don't know this person very well? Like, would it be easier if it was a close friend? Then I could be like, oh, it's your tit. It's not just like, you know. Or is the problem that it was like in its sort of like lardiest form, you know? Because like if it was the leg taco or fajita or whatever it was, like if it was like a muscly meat, would that be different? You know, and so I think unfortunately this is kind of opening it was like the gateway cannibalism for me, right? Like I haven't eaten more of people since then, but I am curious, right? Like with the boob soup, like could I eat a whole bowl if it was French onion soup, you guys? Come on. That means there's gonna be melted cheese and bread, and the cheese is from a cow, which when you start to think about it is actually way weirder and more barbaric. But, you know, like, anyways, I guess that's my little confession there. I'm about out of time. I don't have an ending to that story, except, yeah, I'm a cannibal from the Pacific Northwest, and you should come to my show, which is about tubes and secrets, and you can write anonymous secrets, and I'll tell you some of my secrets, and we'll talk about tubes and what they are. And I'm not going to talk about eating human meat there, but I will talk about other possibly gross and fun things. And I'm also sticking around next week if you're interested in taking like a little clown workshop. I know that's not what I was doing right now, but it's what I could be doing with you next week. So there's flyers for that too. Thanks for having me. Where are you playing? Oh, Leaf, Global Arts, tomorrow night at 9, and also what's the day after the day after Christmas? Saturday at 9 as well. Thanks.
More for Amika, please. Y'all, this is the Sovereign Kava Bar Poetry Open Mic, but we are absolutely open for more confessions if anybody has something they want to get off their chest. Next up, Tony, are you around? Oh, there he is. I was about to say one more time. This has been a long day. I'm so happy to be here, and there's so much wonderful energy in this room, but I'm losing my mind. Can we give it up for Tony, please? Welcome, Tony.
Hi, it's me. I think this is George's guitar. I think it plugs in. How's everyone doing? Do y'all want to hear some sad songs about having your heart broken, or sad songs about wanting to jump off of a bridge, or songs about flying kites on Mars? Bridge? Okay. Let me change my capo. Your capo. It is your capo. Thank you for letting me borrow your guitar. And if possible, can I get a little reverb on my vocals? All right. I think think it is important to say that I don't feel like this anymore. Note, I feel like it's dead. Hang on. I'll just have to pluck it. All right. Half of the time I'm paralyzed and paranoid. Can't stop the noise inside of my head. Wish I were dead. Don't wanna think this ship could sink. All of my friends, they say they care, but all of my shit's become too much to bear. It's my weed and salt, it's cutting me off. It's all for the best. I just need a rest for a spell. But I don't wanna wake up. Angel numbers, lost in slumber. 666. I feel so sick. My guts a wreck, my head's a mess. Why can't I sleep? If life's just a test, then I've failed, and I'll go straight to hell. It's where I belong. It's where I belong. Angel numbers, lost in slumber. 666. I feel so sick. Angel numbers, lost in slumber. 666. I feel so sick. I feel so sick. I feel so. Thanks. This song I wrote 20-something years ago. And people often like to say, and it's more relevant now than it's ever been. But I think it's just that shit never changes. It's 65 seconds from liftoff. With the pad, I'm feeling glad. I'm watching the ground disappear as we ascend through the clouds. The rumble of the engines are oh so loud, and everything's running fine and smooth. To hit the switch for the engine boost, that's when everything starts to shake. Oh shit, I think we've made a mistake. See cars, lights are flashing, computers are crashing. Right before my eyes, my life is flashing by. I see my mama, my daughter, my unborn kid. And shit, if I could do this all over again. Well, what the hell are you even doing up in the stars? We got problems down on Earth that we really need to solve. But we're not satisfied with material possessions. You know about guns and trees, oil and weapons. We need mass affection through the solar system. Send a rover to Mars on a secret mission. Excavate the land and take soil readings. All in preparation for the human race. Leave it home. 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 But it's alright, it doesn't take fancy intellectual, catchy dialect, to take a second and reflect, to open your mind and see with your eyes. Shiny and new girl that fits like a shoe, that's why they say you should always walk a mile in somebody else's boots. You know there's no one through it, it's alright, baby, won't do anything. Hey, easy, I'm lazy, I'll sit on the couch, wait for Jesus to come around to save me. Alright now. Live 65 seconds from liftoff. We've left the pad and I'm feeling glad. We're watching the ground disappear, so you're sitting through the clouds. The rumble of the engine's quite loud, and everything's running fine and smooth till we hit the switch for the engine boost. That's when everything starts to shake. I should have made a mistake. We got predator drones and unmanned tanks, things that if you stop about you just might think that maybe we're headed down the wrong path yet again. My friends, I don't know what else to do. I can't seem to get through to each and every goddamn one of you. So fuck it, you're all on your own, but it's alright, it doesn't take fancy intellect to get your dialect, to take a second and reflect, to open your mind and see with your eyes. Shiny in your fur, if it's not a shoe, that's why they say you should always walk a mile in somebody else's boots. But you know what they were going through, and it's alright, baby, won't do anything. Hey, see, I'm lazy, I'll sit on the couch, wait for the latest model of ChatGPT, or whatever the fuck Palantir has cooked up for us to sort it all out, you know what I mean? Here's the fancy part. Thanks, everybody. My name's Tony. You can check out all my art and stuff on Instagram. The Build Music. You just type in The Build. Type in chaos magic. Spell magic with a C and then a K, so all the other wizards know you're not fucking around. That's the code. All right, thanks. I guess am I good to unplug? Huzzah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
More for Tony, please. Give them your soul, your heart, all through your hands. Does anybody have anything to confess? Does anybody have a confession to make? If you want to do any of that privately, you can come and speak to me. Next up, please give it all up for Swimmer. Are you ready? Oh, there you go. All of it. I said all of it, please.
Oh, mitakuyasan. This is an old song by one of my musical guides, John Lennon, with some new words. And it's about the most dangerous creation of humankind, the duppy screen, to Columbine and the pandemic are the evidence of that. Duppy is a Jamaican term which means soulless. These have no soul, these have no smell, these have no water. They're lifeless. Why has everybody got their heads in the duppy screen? Why has everybody got their heads in the duppy screen? Do you know what it does to your beam? Why has everybody got their heads in the duppy screen? All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. Chinumpa, chinumpa, chinumpa. Chinumpa is a native word for it means peace pipe. We live in the land of the Native Americans, and they realized how to live in harmony and awareness on this Mother Earth. was not by language. It was not by the written word, the Talmud, the Torah, the Bible. That's why they call it Babylon. We're living in Babylon. All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. Chanumba, chanumba, chanumba. We're looking for some people that are aware of what the Duppy screen does to your being, and are off the Duppy screen for at least a day a week. You can call it the new Sabbath. Actually, it's more connected to the Creator than the old Sabbath. All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. All we are saying, give peace pipe a chance. Chanumba, chanumba, chanumba. And what's going on in Iran right now takes me back to what was going on in Vietnam. We might not pay taxes, but every time we spend money, some of the money goes to the government, and some of them in the government is bombing innocent people in Iran who have never harmed us. So we Americans are now, at this moment, accessories to murder. Bottom line, but I assume you can take the truth. But we stopped Vietnam. And through a certain plant that feeds their awareness, got my friends who are in Vietnam aware, and they stopped fighting. So we have some seeds if you want to plant them and correct the karma. We have that karma of we are accessories to murder right at this moment, all of us Americans. Skanking it easy, skanking it slow, skanking it easy. You might want to know with this easy skanking, easy skanking, next song is about messiahs. Past time, the Messiah was here on two legs, Jesus, connected to newborn genital mutilators, or the Zionists, or the Jews, whatever you want to call them. But that's what they do to their children. They mutilate them at birth. But we seem to be following them into bombing Iran, so time to let go of that connection. But the new Messiah is back, not on two legs, but on four legs, to teach us what we are not using to navigate with the sense of smell. Jesus, are you looking for him? He's down by the water. He's sporting the fin, the way I feel it. He coming back as a whale. Spirit move way beyond the human ego trail. I ain't the devil. Are you looking for him too? Do you really believe things could be so split in two? How many numbers do you carry around in your head? Do you think the point of it all can be tallied or read? No. I ain't Jesus. No, we come from a different tribe. On a wiser bud, though. We both like to imbibe. Check it out. Wherever you may be, love is a currency. I ain't Buddha. Maybe he's coming back as a seed. Then he ain't gonna give us everything that we need. Chew him up or put him in the ground. Plant the seed, there's enough to go around. I ain't Mohammed. Maybe he's coming back as a spore. And didn't he say that less can be more? I think I might come back as all of the above. Time to heal with a natural love. Time to heal with a natural love. Time to heal with a natural love. Thanks for listening. Thanks for people here at Kava Bar to keep this going, and musicians and poets here speaking from music coming from the inside of them.
One more time for Swimmer, y'all. Next up, we've got Strider. Strider, are you around? Excellent. Can we give it up for Strider, and can we give him a rent? Rent. 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 Rent.
Did I hear rent? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Open Mic. I just had the reflection that the first time I came to open mic here at Sovereign Kava was 6 years ago. And that's a lot of time that's passed. And I have to say that for everyone that's continued to host the open mic through the years, big shout out, big thanks, and big clap of applause to everyone. It feels grateful to continue rent every year. So what I've decided to do is 3 different things. It's 2 poems that I'm going to read. One that I've added to an art collaboration book that if you have time, if you want to add to it, it's over 500 editions over a year. Then I also have another poem that I wrote at the start of open mic tonight, and then I'm going to do some improv with a jaw harp. So this is from the art collaboration book, and the poem is called What a Time. What a time to see a crossroad that rebinds new lines. We choose to fly, honesty shared to those that care, mastering a multiverse to our universe. Action speaks wise words, thoughts cannot question. Talk, for I will listen. And then this is a poem that just came to my mind when I first arrived here and quickly jotted it down to share it during open mic. What is really happening? What is really happening is a chance of you. Choose, win, lose, stem, you. Surrender to something, source within, a win that is a shoe in. Really happening happens in a once space. Even recreated, it's a new place. What is really happening awaits your response. And now for the final bit, beatbox jaw harp. Oh wow, I've only went through 2 minutes. Would you like to hear some more poetry? Yeah. Thank you. This actually came from Battle Cat off of Haywood, and I took it, and there was a barista there, and I was like, I gotta get my nails painted, open mic's coming up, here's my book, add what you want. And what it was a list of just different things that I just feel like every time I come back to the page, it always has some level of resonance. But it titles Words My Soul Craves. It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in the broken world. Your rage is a catalyst for your liberation. Hard times require furious dancing. All the women in me are tired. All of the Western medicine is built on getting rid of the pain, which is not the same as healing. Healing is actually the capacity to hold the pain. Any activity done with love and presence is a spiritual practice. And they made you a weapon, then told you to find peace. Healing is so hard because it is a constant battle between your inner child who is scared and just wants safety, your inner teenager who is angry and just wants justice, and your current self who is tired and just wants peace. You are doing a beautiful job figuring out some heavy shit. When you are talking about your younger, flawed, immature, traumatized self, you're talking about a person who saved your life. Let me fall if I must fall. The one I am becoming will catch me. And what was interesting was a week later, I just was creating some music, and I was looking at each last sentence of each segment, and I paired all of it together, and I actually created another segment here of each finishing of the sentence. But it goes, in the broken world, for your liberation, hard times requires furious dancing. How tired we are, holding the pain, a spiritual experience to find peace. Your current self is tired and wants peace, figuring out some heavy shit. You are talking about a person who saved your life. Let me fall if I must fall. The one I am becoming will catch me. Are we thinking one more poem? One more? Okay. I'm going to actually speak it from the heart. Wednesday night, on a Pisces moon night, we all collective gather here. For here there is a space that shares no fear, the fear being the space that we hold dear. As we gather and see familiar faces, we don't need to run to the races, because the whole night is for us, the whole night is for we. And I enjoy to be with my home company. And I say deep down inside, from the universe and the source that holds that lyrical spirit tight, remember who you are. Rents.
Beautiful. Thank you, Strider. One more time for Strider, please. Who is up next? Oh, it's Chance. Chance, are you available? Where's Chance? 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 Rant? Coming? Chance, come on. Everybody give it up for Chance.
Hey, guys. I just need a little cable thingy for my phone. Thank you so much. just for my phone. It's okay.
I've been racking my mind to try to think of something that I could confess, and I don't have anything funny or anything about cannibalism. All of my confessions are boring or sad. Once again, I want to invite anybody to sign up for our last couple open slots in order to make a confession in front of the Kava bar. If anybody, oh, that's not a funny joke. If anybody has eaten a human being, once again, oh, Chance, are you ready? Does anyone have a dongle? Oh no.
Now I know what to buy. Yeah, it's the auxiliary to iPhone.
It looks like we're on our way. I'm attempting to vamp once again. That son of a bitch. The absolute audacity of Morgan Beissert. Rand.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts? Yeah, technically. Okay.
This seems like an excellent time for me to talk about some of the events that are coming up at the Kava bar. If I can find them in my pocket. As we're looking for our dongle, I just want to look ahead at some of the events happening at Sovereign Kava in the future. I can't remember what day it is. I think it's, what's the date? The 18th of March. Oh, of course. The Asheville Fringe Festival opening party that happened tonight. Thursday, continuing with events in the Asheville Fringe Festival, Cybersign is going to be here at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Where are we with our dongle? Oh, fantastic. Time for me to shut up. Enjoy Chance.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the patience and the support.
there. Do you remember that time that we had to do a durational performance at Grayson's house? How long did we do that? 2 hours of improvising, like you telling people how wonderful they are and me telling them how horrible they are. I think I remember that. That was really fun. Next up is not Justin Blackburn. Is that funny? I don't remember how to do this, y'all. I love y'all, and I'm so glad to be here. Next up, can you please give your entire souls through your clapping hands to Justin Blackburn as he comes up to the stage?
And Justin, I got this book. It's called It's Hard to Get There When You're Already There. Read some poems from it. This poem is called it's called I'm Fat in the External World. I stink because I eat shit. I'm lonely because I'm controlling. I'm sick because I won't forgive. I'm stuck because I'm not stretching. I'm complaining to escape the feels. I'm broke because I'm jealous of you. I'm video gaming because I won't be real. I'm ugly because I'm not looking within. I'm failing because I need your validation. I'm so chaotic because I'm not meditating. I'm unhappy because I'm not appreciating. I'm stupid because I'm thinking about you. I'm broken because I take you too seriously. I'm losing because I'm not believing in me. I'm hurting because I won't take accountability. I'm addicted because I won't grab my power back. I'm sad because I won't let what I need in when I need it. I'm inconsistent because I'm not doing the shadow work. I'm scared because I'm not integrating this unconsciousness. I'm overweight because I'm carrying around how much I fucking hate you. This poem's called Justin Blackburn is a Toxic Snowflake Egomaniac. Justin Blackburn is a toxic snowflake egomaniac. Sometimes he actually thinks he's part of everything. Sure, he read it in some new age bullshit, but when he feels it, he has the gall to believe it. The expansive beauty of the sky is within us all too. Sometimes Justin feels like God inside him or some bullshit, and he has the gumption to trust his assumptions true. Sometimes all Justin wants to do is believe in him and you. What a fucking dick, huh? Justin Blackburn is a fake, posy, liberal, narcissistic cuck. People shit talk him and he actually gives a fuck to have a conversation and restore their negativity to love. When they avoid him, he actually gets his feelings hurt. Just let people hate you, fucking bro. Justin is a wounded loser jerk. He's so harmful, his grandma died before he was even born. Once, Justin made a group text, a joke in a group text of comedians. Let's just say it wasn't received warm. Justin Blackburn is an arrogant, dumb, woke employee. When he worked for Wendy's, he stole their money. When the manager choked him, he thought it was funny. He believes humans can fly, they just don't know it yet. God damn, what an idiot, right? Human flight? What the hell? He told his uncle that at a family gathering. He must be off his antidepressants. His uncle is definitely worried about Justin's mental health. He just told Justin's parents. Justin has thought before that reality is all in our minds. Hey, Justin, tell that to someone about to die, you fucking asshole. Oh, when someone is sick, Justin thinks they have a soul and they can tap into that power to heal themselves. What an invalidating prick. Justin, go be someone else. He deserves to go to the hell that his preacher warned him of. Sometimes when Justin breathes, he appreciates breath and wonders if we're all just wanting to be loved. Weirdo. Also, he thinks we can transcend death, and he's not meaning mummified in some Egyptian basement. Jason from Justin's former Poetry Slam team tried to get a bunch of people to hate him because Justin challenges Jason in a way Jason's scared of. Does that mean Jason is no longer worthy of Justin's love? It does to Justin. That's why Justin needs a new Blackburn. One who can't see through his subatomic bullshit. Someone who does not carry an ice pick. Someone who does not know where his heart is. Someone who unconditionally loves themselves and gets everyone is projecting their shit on everyone else. Someone who sees if negativity is coming their way, all that is being reflected is where he doesn't value himself. And Justin gives love to all the Jasons within him. Justin has a small average dick and needs to transform his many different little bitchy selves into oneness so he can finally exist as a true being of purest light, wrong, right, day, night, like this poem said. Justin is a toxic, arrogant, snowflake egomaniac. This poet knows it, goddammit. This poet is him. Goddamn. The end is it reveals that Justin is actually the person in the poem. It's pretty good. This is called When the Fuck Will You Grow Up, Yuppie? When the fuck will you grow up and care about the planet and humanity more than money? When the fuck will you wake up and focus on your soul's evolution instead of being a yuppie? When will you stop being addicted to material bullshit and realize you don't have a goddamn thing? When the fuck are you going to go with it and stay long enough to create some actual lasting change? When the fuck are you going to light up your shadow and know the difference between your ego and your mind? When the fuck are you going to step into the unknown and accept the challenge of your lifetime? When will you stop tucking your true self into a slim fit blazer and calling it a fucking spine? When the fuck are you going to face your fear and stop wearing wealth as a disguise? When will you realize the world is on fire and you're using the flames to check your reflection in the glass of a high-rise? When the fuck are you going to clean your mental house and get rid of all your goddamn costumes? When the fuck are you going to unravel yourself and water the garden in your heart so it will start to bloom? When the fuck will you take your power back and remember you are the creator of your destiny? When the fuck will you stop blaming others and attune with your body's brain-heart responsibility? When the fuck are you going to stop denying your wounds are in need of care and bury that bullshit systemic concept of growing up in the ground before you find your body there? This is called Good Luck on Death, or Good Luck on Ego Death. Society will love you if you play the game of their pain. Society promises you everything if you ignore the fact that everything is backwards and insane. Puzzles of pieces of society's unprocessed pain become your jealous, screaming shadow, guilty God, candy cane, insane brain, American game. You can't win. Hurry, abandon your signature spark. Do you miss it yet? Before society manipulates you in the dark, did they already make you believe you're someone else? Yesterday was the best time to get drunk and speak your truth so you can throw it all up. Do you already hate yourself in the morning of your youth and regret what you said around your coworkers? Did they already make you believe something is wrong with you for not doing what they want you to achieve? Oh no, you're late for your death. Societal conditioning is why you're tired, shallow, breathing, freezing from pain, screaming in dreams for death. Subconsciously, you were asked to give up your soul, and in your own dumb, unconscious way, you said, sure, I guess. That's why you're lost, shallow, hollow, see-through. They have you caught in what doesn't matter. That's why there's so many dumbass parts of you splattered into pieces that you have no idea how to ever find. Sorry, mother, they turned you into a sorry motherfucker. Remember when you were younger, you were cherished? Now you're embarrassed by who you've become. Pain. Their unexamined pain. Take pain pills, feel great pain. Your pieces are puzzles of other people telling you who you are, grooming you, baby booming you to be who they need for you to appease their inane, insane candy cane game of unprocessed, unexamined pain. Where do you turn when you need to burn in hell? Oh yeah, you sell your soul for more souls to sell. They lied to us about everything and we believed them. Now you're a nervous purchase surface. You're screwed your solid soul over to become their liquid. Now they drink you, sink their teeth into you, judge your ass, and you're so void of meaning. You're just here for everyone else. Sister, brothers, mothers, think of others while you swim in boiling death timers of society's desires. Don't eat the dogs, dog. God, don't forget your God, God. Of course you get suicidal and think you want death. You do want death. Your ego's fucking death. This goddamn stupid society's collective ego death. Take a billion breaths and keep going within to where your soul and power lives. And instead of reacting to the dumbass world which keeps you controlled, look within and react to your fucking soul. Yeah, it's easier said than done until it's done so much that it's not fucking easier said than done. You can do it naturally because that's all who we're born to be. All right, my name's Justin Blackburn. I got this book. It's called It's Hard to Get There When You're Already There. I only have 3 of them. They're $10, but if you don't have any money and you just want to read the book, I'll give it to you. Have a great night.
Justin Blackburn!
So that's pretty cool. He's performing here Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Woo! More, please. More, please. Next up to the mic, please welcome them. Please make them love the mic. Gordon. Gordon, you around? Come on up.
I need a, yeah. Yeah, quarter inch. Like what that, no, the tar type. Can I get 2 possibly? My name's Gordon Levine. It's my birthday this weekend. I decided to play like a set of original music. Thank you.
tell you to find purpose in life. It's a funny one. I do believe you're destined for great things. They tell you to find purpose in life. It's a funny one.
Gordon! Happy birthday. Thank you for playing.
Oh, hey, thanks, Justin. I don't usually comment on the performances, but I just wanted to speak to something that was said in an earlier performance in the evening, and just note that the Jewish people are not the same thing as the Israeli government, and in fact, a hell of a lot of them don't agree with what the Israeli government's doing. And I think we run into serious danger when we make generalizations about whole groups of people like that. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you. Peace, y'all.
Thank you, Caleb. Hell yes. Let's see. Oh, so we are down to 4 more performers for the night as we slink into the evening. So I'm going to ask y'all for a little bit of discipline, a little bit of energy, a little bit of generosity. I say that y'all have all been giving so much. I just want y'all to give everything for these last 4 performers as we move towards midnight and towards tomorrow. Next up is Kaylin. Kaylin, are you here? Can we be louder? Can we be unbelievably loud?
Hey y'all. It's fucking late. Gosh, this has been super cool. Everyone's so talented. It's been really nice to like absorb everyone's energy. I feel like I'm gonna dream about pot roast sandwiches and human meat tacos. Hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna play a song. This is about me being scared of mood stabilizers. see how I feel tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep. Thanks, y'all.
Oh, thank you, Kaylin. I hope that we all have dreams tonight about cannibalism. Let's see. Fringe Festival is going on for a while. I'm digging around my pockets through many sheets of paper to look at our next person. Y'all are doing fantastic, by the way. I'm very proud of all of you. I think you're all really incredible. I love the way that you clap and the way that you holler and the way that you support our performers in general. We have two more for the night. The night is close to ending. So we have to get louder and louder. We have to knock on the walls. We have to scream. I'd like y'all all to scream for each new performer. Next up is Finn. Can we all scream for them? Beautiful!
Hi. Oh, okay, there we go. I have confessions. I'm not a cannibal, but I did live in Charlotte for 25 years. Do we still have Charlotte people here? Oh, okay. Awesome, okay. And I was heavily involved in the improv community there, so if you know people in the improv community, you probably know my ex. That's my confession. And also, Asheville is better. Just telling you. So I'm reading stories tonight, so like you can treat them like bedtime stories if you want to. Take a little nap. They're real short though, so you have to fall asleep fast. And one of them I am going to choose, but the first one I want you all to choose. So do you want romantic comedy, existential horror, or theology? Non-Christian theology, just to be clear. Horror. There we go. Okay. Well, you could think of it that way. Now I have to find my files. And I am like super nervous tonight because the performances were incredible. And I usually try to go earlier in the night, so I don't know how incredible everybody else is before I get up here. So thank you for the shouting. And I'm going to trust you to be really happy about my performance, even if you fall asleep in it. Okay. The story is called The Stranger in the Chair. It begins in the kitchen. Somebody has moved your pen. That's all. Later, it turns up by your bed. Then you start to notice other things. Your beloved says everything's fine. But one night, you start to set the table for dinner, and it's already set. Honey? Don't tell me it wasn't you this time. What wasn't? Your anxiety grows, but you try to ignore it. Hauntings belong in movies, not cozy 1950s bungalows and sleepy neighborhoods. You crawl into bed one night when the dread is strong, and you curl yourself into your beloved's arms. After all these years, still your refuge from the world. You feel safe. But when you wake up, the spot where your beloved slept is cold, and the house is unnaturally quiet. The burr of the fridge, the tick of the clock, the hum of the computer, the music of your life, all gone. And there is a stranger in a chair by your bed. They smile at you. Your dread turns to fear. Who are you? The smile falters. You ask what they've done with your beloved. A tear glistens in the stranger's eye. This terrifies you more than all the rest. You realize now that you're not in your own home. You're in a room that smells faintly of rot and antiseptic. And on the bedside table is a photo of you and your beloved and a young person who looks exactly like the stranger in the chair. You demand an explanation. She begins to cry. Mom, She says, "Don't you remember?" That's it. That's the horror. Okay, something a little lighter. Some of you know, you might have heard that there's an author who wrote some very popular books who turned out to be a raging transphobe and has done a lot of damage in the world. This short story is my rebuke. You are 63 years old when the letter comes. It arrives as a scroll, sealed with bronze-colored wax, with the head of a dragon as the emblem. The paper is thick parchment, and the lettering on the outside, addressed to you, is extravagant. It arrives on your doorstep in the beak of a large white swan. You gave up expecting a letter decades ago, first because you were too old, then because you no longer believed in magic, eventually because you simply aren't the sort of person to whom interesting things happen. Yet here it is. You examine the scroll slowly, turning it in your seasoned hands, wondering what kind of a practical joke this might be, and how on earth anyone got a swan to deliver it? It's remarkable the things they train animals to do these days. But one thing you're sure they don't train them to do is speak. So when the swan says, "I'll await your reply," you stand gaping at it for a long time until it adds, "Yes, I know you weren't expecting me to talk. Go on, read the letter then. Do you think this is the only thing I have to do today?" You blink. Then you open the letter, breaking the bronze seal and unrolling the parchment. It's an invitation to magic school. You read it, you laugh, you look at the swan, and you stop laughing. Eventually, you tell the swan, "Okay, I guess then." And a week later, you're on a bus that looks like a compact car on the outside but has space on the inside for 40 or 50 others like you. A couple of dazed-looking housewives. 3 stiff-backed accountants trying to get their laptops to connect to a non-existent Wi-Fi signal. 1 garrulous old man stuffing popcorn in his mouth and loudly telling his seatmate the story of his morning constitutional. You listen to the chatter and mentally tally the presence of several custodians and sanitary workers, a large number of service industry workers, and quite a few day laborers, gardeners, farmers. There are a couple of administrative workers and a bank teller, and more than a few middle managers. Some are probably retired like you, and others probably expect to work until the day they die. None of them is young, or famous, or notable in any particular way. Later, after you've arrived and been carried to the castle, on the back of a Pegasus, you had lots of choices. There were flying mantises and giraffes and giant bats, eagles, a hippo. But you always liked the classics. So you rode on a Pegasus, and you're taken to a large grand hall for the sorting ceremony. You're still not sure if this is real or a really elaborate practical joke, or maybe you're dead. But it all feels real enough. Somehow, 6 decades in, having accomplished very little to speak of, you've been invited to come learn magic at a secret school dedicated to the arcane arts, and so have all these other ordinary folks. And remarkably, despite having seen not even one shred of evidence for your entire life, somehow, magic is real. Before the sorting begins, you raise your hand. There's a tall, white-haired woman at the front of the room who appears to be in charge of matters. She's wearing a long black robe with what seem to be actual stars adorning it. Their light twinkling and sparkling in an uncanny and mesmerizing manner. She sees you raise your hand and arches an eyebrow at you, an invitation to speak. You say, not exactly eloquently, well, you see, it's just that I don't understand. Well, excuse me, but we're all quite, you see, you taper off, but she waits. She doesn't move at all, and the room grows a little restless, so you continue. Oh, well, I just wonder, is there a mistake? aren't we all a little old? And, well, pardon me, I don't mean to speak for the others, but aren't we a little ordinary to be learning magic? Her expression doesn't change. You get the impression she isn't really easily rattled. There's a pause, and then she smiles. Thank you, she says, for asking the question everyone is thinking. Sometimes we get all the way through the first week of classes before anyone has the courage to speak up. But of course that's what you all want to know, so I'll tell you. She explains that the school is quite old, thousands and thousands of years old, and that once upon a time they did recruit children on the theory that people who were trained young would have an entire lifetime to use their training. In fact, she says, some schools still operate this way to their shame. Because knowing how to do magic doesn't make you a person who ought to wield magic, she says. Handing outsized power to people who inherited magical wealth from their parents and don't even know who they are outside of what they were told, almost always a mistake. Furthermore, she continues, even if you have a strong and courageous heart, having more years ahead of you doesn't automatically mean you will do more with them. Youth has a way of squandering itself, as many of you know. Her lips turn up and her eyes crinkle, and you find that you quite like her. You think of your own youth, and it starts to make sense. So, deciding to commit to a better world, rather than the same world but with magic, we spent a few centuries revamping our recruitment process, she says, looking out at each person, meeting their eyes one by one. You notice her features change subtly, her nose slightly larger, her chin slightly sharper. She plucks a pair of glasses that appear in thin air as she grasps them and puts them on her face. Now, somehow, she looks like an old man. We transitioned, she says. And now we only invite people who've proven themselves worthy of the honor over and over again across a few decades. People like you, she says, her eyes landing on you again. You think about this for a moment. Kind of makes sense, sort of. But you say, I don't know, it's just that I haven't done anything. I'm not special, I just, lived. Why me? I told you, she says, because you're worthy of it. Not many are. I still don't understand. You don't understand, but you will. You see, we learned better than to recruit people based on how the rest of the world sees them. We discovered that the people who are best suited to learn magic are the people who first learn to understand themselves. She takes off her glasses and returns to the form she had been wearing when they first arrived. The people who choose to live in integrity, she continues. Those who have discovered and practiced how to live well. You weren't chosen for your accomplishments. You were chosen because of the choices you made. There is silence in the room. It's so quiet, you feel like you can hear the portraits on the wall breathing, which, come to think of it, actually you can. Her face softens, and it seems somehow that you're sitting in a little tea shop, just the two of you, and she's preparing to confess a deep and intimate detail to you. Dear one, she says, may I ask you a question? You nod. When your neighbor's daughter was in trouble and everyone was blaming her, telling her that she must be a bad parent, what did you do? Well, I went with her to the police station and made sure they both got home safe, you say. Yes, she says. And you told her she was a good parent and that everyone goes through hard times, she says. Well, yeah, but only because that's true. And, she goes on, when your son's friends didn't have anywhere to go for the holidays because their family couldn't accept who they really were, what did you do? Well, I had them over, of course. Everyone should have a place to go on the holiday. Yes. And when that woman at the grocery store was taking apples and that little slice of sirloin out of the grocery cart because there wasn't enough money on her EBT card, and while everybody else was grumbling about the time waste and about freeloaders, what did you do? Well, I bought her groceries. I had enough. Anyone would have done it. That's where you're wrong, she says. And now suddenly you remember where you are. You see that she's there at the front of that room again, and she's taller, much taller than she was a moment ago. She's so tall that her head would be touching the ceiling, except The ceiling seems to move away to make room. Everyone would not have done that, she says, but you did. She looks around the room, meeting each person's eyes again. You have the feeling that everyone has been having an intimate conversation with her, somehow magically having their own private experiences, but that they all amount to the same thing. You ask why you've been deemed worthy for an invitation. She's speaking to all of you now. You're here because you have spent your entire life preparing for this. You're here because every time you had a chance to choose, you always chose love. She takes a deep breath. And when she breathes out, her breath lights a million candles you hadn't realized were there until just that moment. Welcome to Mahirgra's School of Magic. And now it begins.
Thank you, Finn. Y'all, we have reached the very best part of the night. I like to think about this as, like, I should shut up soon. I'm sleepy and my brain is going. I just feel like it always feels kind of like the chicken skin of the night, like the very best, like most nutrient-dense part. I'm not going to describe chicken skin. I just love it when it's fried. It's the cannibalism. It's going through my head. Like, y'all are the greatest people. Like, everybody at the end of open mics are my very favorite people in the entire world. You all tip the best. You're the nicest people. You're the most fun to be around. You cheer the most. We have two more people. Next up, Joe Shelton. Scream! Scream for your lives!
Okay. Yes. It's a deal. All right. I have several poems and a patented, copyrighted Joe Shelton silly song. Oh, whoops. I was working on a different one there. What's wrong now with standing in front of the mechanical press, activating the two-hand safety switch and listening to the gentle hiss as it smashes down on the metal preform? 3, 2, 1, and the timer reads all zeros. And what was wrong with tilting the deep freeze refrigerator door up on one corner and then flipping it up onto the OSB work table to check it for scuffs, dents, and scratches? That one's 4 millimeters, so a fail. What was wrong with flipping the numbers on the spiral binder, climbing a stepladder, then sliding them into the slot along the top of the pricing sign with the end cap of seafoam? $2.85. What was wrong with loading the books onto the angled rolling bookshelf, shuffling and reshuffling them until they're all in the same order as the invoice? 26 titles, 26 monographs. And was there anything at all wrong back when I was counting the drawer down and doing the last cash drop before the shift change? And 2 rolls of pennies makes $203. Nothing. Nothing at all is wrong or was ever. It's not euphoria, it's not agony. It's dull, and it's normal, and climate controlled. It feels like work because it is work. I again activate the two-hand safety switch and listen to the gentle hiss as it smashes down onto the metal preform. 3, 2, 1, and the timer reads all zeros. I untether from the world to float and meander in an ether that's teeming with cumulonimbus of schemi, fluffing and twisting into the shapes of old tasks. Once drifting among and through those clouds, I empty the decanter of the self into the noble exploitative chalice of work, and am imbibed and dissipated and dissolved, and yet remain with the beep of the time clock at 11 p.m. I am reborn.
Thank you.
So I met a girl named Melissa at a local bar, and we flirted, and it was fun. She's a woman and not a girl, of course, but when men and women are flirting, we're all boys and girls again, just like always. She had a shirt from the Carnegie Foundation with some sort of reference to writing. She was looking at her phone, so I asked if she was reading something. She said, kind of, and the conversation was off and running. At an improv class I took one time, one of the tips was to observe what a person was doing and use that as a jumping off point. It wasn't as predatory as all that. She writes, teaches, and was here from Lexington on a writer's retreat. She went to the University of Kentucky, finishing up an English degree after an interruption in her initial try at journalism. She did an MFA program with a thoughtless dictatorial instructor who played her insecurities against her. She has a well-off banker husband, which allows her to pursue the arts without any special financial risk to the household. No shade. Most great artists need a patron. She seemed impressed with me beyond what was warranted, but I liked it. We traded notes on our creative processes and favorite reads. I put her onto an app I've been using that lets you read ebooks from the library. I read her the lyrics of one of my songs, A Poet's Life, and she asked me to email it to her. I did, of course. It was lovely all around. Thank you. And thanks for holding space for me at the end of the evening. And thank you, Mr. Justin Evans, for standing tall tonight. Sleepy or otherwise. A car whooshes by on a thin layer of water on the asphalt of Old 70 by the Veterans Cemetery, where the skeletal tangle of trees crowd all along the horizon and claw up at the drizzling, miserable March grayness. Their naked branches ache and yearn to sprout lime green as before. An unseen cardinal, still bright red in my mind, begins each of his 3 repeated downward glissandos with a sharp accented pop, then lets free a semi-automatic clucking of 8th notes of the type that a woodpecker would let out before a long, low swoop overhead, and then calls out again for love in the face of dying death. Looking skyward, I spread my arms like Christ, unlike him in most any other aspect, close my eyes and receive the gift of a cold peppering of mist, all but sizzling as it tickles my face. All right, thank you. Human friendship.
Can we all scream for Joe Shelton? Oh, y'all are so
Uh-oh, I was vainly self-screaming for myself. That's how.
Oh, self-scream is okay.
Usually I only self-scream during my self-affirmation, which I take out a frying pan and I say, wrong, 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 stupid, 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 and hit myself in the head. I've been thinking about changing it up a little. I probably should do a different self-affirmation. A million minstrels swayed in a sea, strumming their lutes lasciviously. Their lives were forfeit, all destroyed, lest they caught the ear of Helen of Troy. The din of those dandies, the odor was worse. She considered her beauty a curse. Some sang sweetly, others sang loud. Some stood up on crates to stand out in the crowd. Some elbowed like scoundrels and pulled others' hair. She sighed at the sight of the spectacle there. So with her fist broke her mirror to shards, preparing to forward her disregards. The mob surged toward her desperately. They hungered for her and barbarously forgot they were men, if ever they were, wanting only the trophy of her. Stampeding and flailing their foul serenade, more horror she'd never surveyed. They bit and they clawed and metamorphosed. They howled like monkeys and rended their clothes. They rutted like deer, they wallowed like swine, panted and drooled, and like curs they did whine. They slithered and crawled, Some burrowed under. She thought they might tear her asunder. Repulsed and disgusted, finally she addressed the crowd quite angrily. Disperse, you fiends, I hate you all. It's lust and not love, in which you now fall. Oh, what an ingrate, their prides were all smote. How dare she speak thus as they dote? With a scowl she declared, I'm woman, not thing. You waste your foul breath with each note that you sing. Silence your voices and strings and go, or I'll dash myself dead on the rocks down below. Oh, woe, said they all, it will be none of us. Then sulked away sullen in Exodus. Thank you, Kava Bar.
Scream, please! I feel as though we're at the center of the earth, finally. At this point in my sleep deprivation and this late at night, this wall and this lighting, I feel as though we're sinking deep, deep into the planet. We have one final performer tonight, Zach Jones. Where? I've lost all sense of memory. I don't even recognize people anymore. Please, louder for Zach Jones, the last performer of the night!
Thank you. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. Typically, I would be here singing, but I left my guitar at home. So I'm going to do a couple of poems. First of all, my confession is that I'm a little bit hungry. Not for people. For, like, food and stuff. Apparently I do. I know somebody that has a hankering for human. So I'm going to do a poem about food. Chicken cordon bleu, tikka masala, Korean bulgogi, gumbo, beef Wellington, eggplant parmesan. Yet everybody wants pizza. Pizza is simple. Pizza is delicious. Pizza isn't trying to be anything. Pizza is everywhere. Pizza is served in schools and nursing homes. How many fights have been resolved over a slice of pizza? Pizza is reliable and beloved by everyone. I don't want pizza, said nobody ever. It would be nice to be a slice of pizza. Thank you. I once knew an old man. He lived on the streets of anywhere, spending his life smoking whatever would smoke. Each day a haze, not quite clear, damp with the mist of his smoky eye. Blindly wandering to the nearest smoke shop to buy some smoke. Then he's off to find something to eat, perhaps a cut of meat, preferably smoked. The rest of the night he spent warming his hands in the smoke of a barrel fire, of which Smokey the Bear would highly disapprove. One such night he was robbed for a half a pack of cigarettes. He tried to fight back, and he got smoked. And where he fell, there now stands an old factory, visible all across the town of Anywhere, by its towering smoke stack, billowing smoke into the sky. And when my eyes cross that smokestack, I remember the only words that he once shared with me. I never should have smoked that shit. Thank you. I got one more short one, a little more serious. I loved once. It made no difference. Love died in the late 80s with the invention of the internet, a tool that humans use only to compare against what they think could be, and never to appreciate what is in front of them. I don't believe humans were meant to take in the level of information, especially about people they don't know, that they do. I voted once. It made no difference. Voting died when people began to trust that they were a part of the system, a system made by dead rich strangers to benefit living rich strangers. And while you might recognize the letters that make up the name on the ballot, do not mistake that for recognizing the person for which you vote. They're merely a rich stranger which will never recognize you or your name. I listened once. It made no difference. Listening died when people began to believe that they had the answers and forgot that there is not a goddamn soul here who knows what's happening. We blindly put one foot in front of the other, wandering in the dark, seeing only the fantasy in our heads that tells us we have it figured out. I spoke once. Of course, it made no difference. Speaking died when listening did. For every word spoken falls upon the ears of a fool who believes they know better. To hear a voice that is not your own speaking a truth you've ignored for so long is too much for anyone to take. It's much easier to carry on this blind, deaf masquerade, pretending there's a reason, pretending it all makes a difference. Yeah, I spoke once, but all there is left to say is rent.
Rent. Rent. Rent. We are at the very center of the earth. Thank you all so much for bearing with my sleep deprivation and everything else and my yelling and all that other kind of stuff. Y'all are perfect. Give all of your money to the bartenders who served you. I am going to perform a bunch of weird sound poetry, like partially under a blanket in the dark, and partially like screaming through a microphone, and partially not saying words at all. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock and Saturday at 7:30 at the Art Garden. I expect all of you to be there. Y'all are perfect. Y'all are amazing. Y'all's discipline is like inspiring me to be a better person. I'm going to go home and I'm going to dream of consuming human beings and lying down in a pile of chicken skin, like in a mattress in a Gartha. Let me read one weird poem before we go. Before I am consumed by the flames, before the night smothers me, where did it go? I had the perfect ending poem. It's probably in my pocket. I'm going to clean these up. I hear all kinds of things. I don't need that mic. I have this mic. Where did this go? Jesus. Bear with me. Bear with me like you've bared with me this entire time. Where are my poems? Aha! This is another Martha Wythblake poem. Martha Wythblake was always a big inspiration for me, just for her like wild performances. This is a less wild poem. This is a nighttime poem. This is a center of the earth poem. This is a chicken skin poem. This comes from her chapbook Money Plane. It's titled Birth of Venus. First of all, elemental garden, carrot, Mr. Lopez, very heavy bottle of water, very pleasant evening, very George Jones, Sticky note, water dog, strong wrist of the dentist, cleft cinder block wall, Titanic, ice, cream, sinks. Couple dead drip drop ceiling beauties at the barcade, talking with a penitent skink. Pretty sure I saw that hippie see Kyle the mandolin player, Bill. Don't Google me, stepbro. You'll only learn about yourself. Who's clapping all of a sudden? COINTELPRO? Is that George Jones? The deep state is trying to make me feel great, but I'm doing so fucking good already. You a cop? I wish. Me too. They kiss. Just me and who? The rebel Jesus or that gray cat from the front sidewalk entryway with the face of a Halloween at the Vatican Dairy? This room is funny. Everyone's shirt's a chance operative. The ceiling is made of pressed foil. Never Sare. Never wanted desire anywhere. God, I'm going to some hell I could have avoided. When baptized in Alka-Seltzer behind the ABC store in Lincolnton made me a newborn babe, sparkling and ugly, but this evening looking good in the headlight light. Lost my burning heart on the money plane, falling like sunlight confetti from the blood moon's reflection, pulled from the wreckage by my collar like a dog. The pistol of an aluminum flower, the watery lips of the fog. Rest in peace, Martha Whiteblade. I love you all so much. I'm going to fantasize for the rest of my life about saying things in front of you and goading y'all into yelling. Support the open mic. It's here every Wednesday. Sign up at 8, read at 8:30. Bring some things next time, just talking to the mic. Y'all keep clapping while I say things. Y'all are so good. Y'all are so good. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sleep well. Don't sleep. Have fun. Love your loved ones. Be a good person. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. God damn. There's so much fucking hate and misery. Y'all have brought me so much light and love. I'm so grateful for you. I confess, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I left Asheville. I'm so sorry that I haven't done enough to make the world better. I'm so sorry that I ate my friend. I loved Phil so much and I ate him. I didn't. And he was good. He was so good. It was the rent. It was the rent. Okay, Christ is written. Go to hell. I love y'all.